Have you ever come across a small, shiny coin that looks like a quarter but is actually worth way more? Well, today we're talking about one of the most misunderstood coins in American history, the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. At first glance, many people confuse it with a quarter because of its size and color, but what most collectors don't realize is that some of these coins could actually be worth a small fortune. Yes, that little coin sitting in your change jar could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and I'm going to show you exactly why. When the U.S. Mint released the Susan B. Anthony dollar in 1979, it was supposed to revolutionize American currency. The idea was to replace the paper dollar bill with a smaller, more durable coin. The Mint had already experimented with larger dollar coins like the Eisenhower dollar, but those were too big and heavy for everyday use. So they introduced a smaller coin, about the size of a quarter, featuring Susan B. Anthony, a trailblazing women's rights activist. It was the first time a real woman, not a symbolic figure, appeared on U.S. currency. That alone makes this coin historically significant. But here's where it gets interesting. While millions of these coins were minted in 1979, not all are created equal. Some of them carry rare varieties, minting errors, and special characteristics that can turn a regular-looking dollar into a collector's jackpot. And that's why you need to take a closer look at any Susan B. Anthony dollar you might have. Now, let's talk about the $1,979 in detail. The coins were minted in 3 major facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. That means you can find coins with a small P, D, or S mint mark on the coin side. But not all mint marks are the same. Some of the most valuable coins come from the San Francisco Mint because they were struck in proof versions for collectors. And here's the kicker. There are actually 2 types of S mint marks, known as Type 1 and Type 2. The Type 2 mint mark is sharper and clearer, and it's much rarer than the Type 1. If you happen to have a 1979 S Type 2 proof dollar, it could be worth hundreds of dollars depending on condition. But wait, it gets even better. One of the most famous varieties of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is the wide rim, or near-date variety. Most 1979 P coins were struck with a standard rim, but a small number came out with a much wider rim where the date looks closer to the edge of the coin. Collectors go crazy for this variety because it's significantly harder to find. In high mint state condition, this coin can sell for well over $500, sometimes more if it's in pristine, graded condition. Imagine pulling one of those out of your old coin jar. And that's not all. Errors and misstrikes on the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar can fetch even higher prices. Double die errors, off-center strikes, and planchet mistakes are among the most valuable. For example, a 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar with a dramatic off-center strike has been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. Yes, thousands. For a coin that most people think is only worth $1. So, how do you know if your coin is worth big money? The first step is to check the mint mark and the rim. If you see a wide rim with the date pressed closer to the edge, you could be holding a valuable wide rim variety. If your coin has an S mint mark, especially a Type 2, it could also be worth big money. And if you spot any unusual features, like doubled letters, missing details, or off-center strikes, then you definitely want to have that coin checked out by a professional grading service. Another key factor is the coin's condition. Collectors and dealers use a grading scale to determine how much a coin is worth. Coins that look like they just came out of the mint, with no scratches, wear, or discoloration, can command premium prices. These are often labeled as mint state or proof coins, and that's where you'll see the eye-popping auction results. For example, while a common 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar might sell for just $1 or $2, a pristine mint state, wide rim variety could easily sell for $1,000 or more. Now here's something a lot of people don't realize. The Susan B. Anthony dollar was not very popular when it first came out. People didn't like how similar it looked to a quarter, and the coin never really caught on in everyday use. Because of that, many of them ended up sitting in drawers, coin collections, or bank vaults for decades. That means a lot of these coins are still in circulation, just waiting to be discovered. And if you're lucky enough to find one of the rare varieties, you might just cash in big time. Collectors today are paying serious money for high-grade examples and rare errors of the 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar. In fact, Auction records show that some proof varieties have sold for over $15,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that most people overlook could actually be worth 5 figures if it has the right characteristics. So next time you're sorting through your change or cleaning out an old drawer, don't ignore those small silver-colored dollars. Take a good look at them. Because the truth is, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth way more than you think. It could be a rare wide rim variety, a San Francisco Type 2 proof, or even a valuable mint error. The 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a tribute to women's rights, and for collectors, a potential gold mine. Some people have turned pocket change into thousands of dollars simply by recognizing the difference between a common dollar and a rare variety. And who knows? The next big discovery could be in your hands right now. So remember, always check your coins. That 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollar might not just be worth $1. It could be worth hundreds, maybe even thousands. Don't let it slip through your fingers.